Hi everyone, this is Carl de Guzman and I'm going to be your guide. I'm looking forward to helping you guys, whoever is dealing with burnout right now, or if you know someone who's exhausted or feeling cynical or maybe is lacking professional efficacy right now. I'm glad you can be here so I can help you with our methodology, because we have 3 layers to beat burnout. The first layer being managing your work environment, the second layer being understanding your life pillars and understanding how to rebalance yourself and what's important for you. And then the third layer is understanding your core values and how to live life with purpose. So we're going to walk through that to help you learn our methodology to beat burnout. What are the triggers that led to your burnout? Is it the long hours? Is it the stressful work environment? Is it you have too many tasks that you got going on at work? Because when I had different kinds of roles in my career, for example, when I was a business consultant, I had projects where I had long working hours or I had a stressful work environment, having maybe possibly like tight deadlines during the day to get my work done, or even just working with stressful people, stressful clients that made it hard for me. And then the consistency of that every single day triggered me to lead to my burnout. Also, when I was a teacher, when I had students who were hard to kind of discipline and get them to listen, that was also triggering me to my burnout. And now as a coach with my business, it's always the constant thinking of how to help people and how to improve my business, and kind of not knowing how to turn that off sometimes. That was leading to my burnout before, which I've done a better job of beating that in that case. The question for you is, what are the triggers that led to your burnout? Are you aware of what's leading you? The consistency of what your overcommitments are in your work environment? That's what you need to understand in terms of your triggers. So in your burnout symptoms, usually they tend to lend to 3 things. Exhaustion, or do you feel you're tired all the time, change in your sleeping patterns? Maybe you can't even wake up in the mornings. It's hard for you to wake up, rather. What about cynicism? Do you feel like you're negative all the time towards your work, towards other people, compared to when you were before, where maybe you were more positive towards everything about life? And then the third thing that you could feel is your lack of professional efficacy, meaning that do you feel like you're not as productive anymore with your work? Or do you even care that you're not as productive because maybe you're too tired to even care of the results of your work? So those are 3 major things that you could be feeling when you do have burnout, whether it's the exhaustion, whether it's the cynicism, feeling negative about other things, or if it's just your efficacy, your lack of being productive at work. What can you control in your work environment? Now, this is more of the post-burnout. How can you control the things that you can control? Because ultimately, the best prevention for burnout is that you have to change the work culture. But if you're not the big guy in your company, the person who can actually make a change, then it's hard for you to change the culture. So here we have to understand what we can actually control in your work environment. What things can you work on to change your approach? Because if you don't change your approach in the working environment, then it doesn't matter what people tell you and the things that you do in terms of getting more sleep or taking a vacation or doing other things that doesn't change your actual approach in your work environment itself. Because when you come back to it, it's still the same environment, it's still the same approach that led to your burnout, right? So you have to make sure that you have to find ways to change the approach of what you do, or else nothing's going to change in terms of your burnout symptoms. So in terms of changing the approach of your work environment, usually you tend to think about different areas. So from a people side, do you need to communicate better with someone, maybe your manager or your team of people that you manage itself? From a process side, do you need to possibly say no to things and find ways to be more efficient? Or maybe there's somebody who can help you perform better with your tasks. And then from a technology side, are you using the right tools to help you? Or maybe you need better training, possibly for whatever technology and tools that you may be using. These are different kinds of ways you can make your work more efficient in your work environment. But that's for you to understand yourself, how to manage your work environment and what can you understand the things that you can control for yourself. So those are 3 questions that I wanted to ask you. It's, what are the triggers that led to your burnout? What's your biggest struggle in terms of your burnout symptoms? And then, what can you control in your work environment itself? And for today's challenge, I wanted to ask you to write down one idea of how you can improve your work environment. Again, using the 3 things, from a people side, from a process side, from a technology side. What's one thing that you can improve in your work environment? If you do know other people who might be dealing with burnout or possibly leading towards burnout, let them know about this challenge, and so it'll be good for them to understand how to kind of just be aware of what they're going through. And if they are feeling burnout now, then possibly our methodology can help them. So for our challenge, again, write in the comments in our Work Vibe Tribe group, and then I'll see you again tomorrow. Take care.